Alright, so I just got over being sick. Literally, it was some weird 24-hour shivering cold virus. I mean, it sucked. It broke. I was sweating like a sweat hog. About 2 days till I started feeling better, which I'm back out here now. So, let's get back onto this. What needs to happen now to basically finish off what I need to do is I need to cut the rocker slash door pillar off both sides, which is going to make this really weak and kind of bend the firewall. Before I cut this side, I need to pull the steering, the steering column, and I need to pull this brake master cylinder off. Sorry about that, I had a brain fart. And then once that's off, I gotta cut down through here. And basically my line is right here. That's my line. I can do this side first because, you know, it has nothing on it. But once I cut both rockers off, pull the steering, and pull that master cylinder off, I'm gonna leave the booster just because I don't want to bleed lines or anything. I'm going to unbolt the floor and hopefully take the floor completely off. Now, why didn't I just pull the entire body off? Well, I'm keeping the floor, okay? So if I keep the floor, I don't want to mess up, you know, anything else. As far as, you know, it would have been really hard to, let's say, take the car outside, flip it over somehow, because I don't have any way to do that, cut the floor out, and then carry the floor back in. Nah, it was easier to do it this way. It's the only way I have to do it anyway. So, yeah, now I am going to start with cutting this one off. I'm sort of avoiding pulling the steering shaft off of here because I put that on there. It's a Jeep steering shaft, and it is a pain in the A to get on and off. But we'll get that all took off and try to get the floor off. I'm not moving very well. I'm still partially sick, so, you know, I'm doing what I can. Once the floor is off, though, there's a bunch of stuff I have to do. The motor will have to be pulled simply because, 1, it's getting painted. 2, I got to change the oil pan. 3, I got to change the transmission. 4, I got to build the I got to buy a trans cross member. I'm going to buy a universal one and make it work because the frame on this is so wide, frame rails. And I need to do the exhaust after I put the motor and trans back in. The trans, by the way, I asked the guy local how much to rebuild it. It was $1,300. I was like, it's already out of the truck, dude. I was like, how much to inspect it? He goes, well, the inspection is $25, but literally all I'm going to do is drop the oil pan, see what the oil looks like, and what's on the magnet. I was like, okay, so that's pointless. So we're going to drop the pan, see how it looks. If it ain't too bad, I might just run it. I don't know how many miles were on it. It's a 4L80E. They're practically unbreakable. I should probably really get a different torque converter than the factory 6.0 torque converter, but they're like $400, and if I have to rebuild it, it's another $400, and it's going to take me forever to rebuild it because I've only rebuilt the 700 R4 that's in here. That worked real good on the 305, but I've never drove it on this, so I know it'll blow up. Everybody done told me. Anywho, I'm going to put you on the laps. We're going to get this cut off. what a fight that was. Man, that kicked my butt. Might not be all the way healed from that sickness yet. So the first cut I didn't cut actually in deep enough because I was still right here, as you can see, still inside the rocker. I didn't get behind it. So when I cut the next ones, I need to go in about a half an inch and cut all the way back. Yeah. Dang. That sucked. It fought me every step of the way. A very heavy piece. Lots of overlapping metal there. That's probably why these cars, when they get into an accident, you can't hurt them. Whew, I'm going to take me a small break now. And yeah, I'll finish zipping that off. Well, I'm feeling a little bit better today. It is still very cold. Today's high is actually 14. Sucks. Luckily, next week's going to be back to Kentucky weather, which is, it'll be in the 60s. It is about 42 degrees in here right now. On this one, it's like different zones. We got a big open space like this. Let's go check this one. This one says it's about 45 on this one. So I'm gonna say it's about 43 in here. It's cold. I'm not gonna sit around and wait. I am just going to start working back where I was yesterday. So let's continue cutting this rocker panel off and we'll move on to the other side. I thought the frame was closer. There's actually about an inch between it, but yeah, I know my frame is really wide. It actually steps down. The frame is actually goes square and then down to here, and that's where my transmission bolts. Yeah, which is like fun. But anyway, we're gonna cut this off, cut that side off after I pull the steering and the brake master, as I said yesterday. But let's just try to get something done here because the winter sucks. I get super bored easy. I've probably never said this before on here, but I do have a slight bit of ADHD, so if I get bored, I want to go do something else. So this is my personal project, so I don't care how long it takes, but I am trying to, you know, work with sponsors to show that I am completely motivated. I am completely motivated, but at the same time, though, I get what me and my buddy Jeff call weather depression. And on the days when it's doom and gloom outside, you feel it. When it's cold outside, you feel it. You don't want to get up. You don't want to do nothing. You're down. Summertime, when it's beautiful outside, love it. Work all day. Go jump in the hot rod. Go drive around. You know, it's, you know, non-depressing weather, but it is what it is. So let's get back to work. Let's stop thinking about the weather. Start thinking about next week when it's warm, even though it's going to be raining all week. And let's have pleasant international dreams as we're working on this thing. Let's get back to it. So what you guys saw on that rag was my nose just randomly started bleeding. I didn't get like hit in the face or nothing by the Sawzall. That's from whatever sickness I had. I guess I got a really bad sinus infection. But anyway, from time to time, now my nose bleeds. It could also be the fact that where we have electric heat, it is seriously dry heat. And then when I come out here, it's a more moist heat. So, you know, whatever's in my head is coming out and it's bloody. Anyway, that rocker weighs about 70 pounds. And yeah, it's off now. It's cut. Right against the frame rail. Yeah, these are notoriously wide frames on these cars. And where you saw me having my hard bit at was right through here, which I see why. It is now 3 layers. Yeah. And right here was my other hard bit, which is the support that goes through the center, which is good. I keep those. You don't ever want to take the supports out, because when you weld your new body onto it, you want that support to run into your new body. Okay, even if it's just the floor welded right here, that is still supported. As far as this goes, that is another layer of floor. Dang, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 layers of steel there. I guess there's no wonder these cars never get hurt. But yeah, this is lots of goodness. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the love in this car. I've always loved this car since I bought it. I paid $800 for this car. It ran real good when I got it. And actually we got it for $800 cheap, because at the time the guy thought the transmission was going out. Later on it did. But what had happened was, these cars, when the brake pads are wore out or they fling apart when it had drums in the rear, it would act almost as if the transmission or something was slipping it, because the ABS was not letting you do what you got to do. So it's just like ba-ba sometimes. So changed the back brakes, drove it, it never did it again. He was kind of upset, but oh well. We didn't know it was that in the first place. We knew it wasn't a transmission, but we didn't know it was that. So next step, I need to pull the steering shaft or the steering column out. And I think, I'm not sure, yeah, I gotta pull this backing plate off right here. Let me put it on wide. Yeah, I gotta pull this backing plate off here. Dropped in 2 screws. 2 bolts, I'm sorry, not screws, 2 bolts right here, and undo one end of the steering shaft and pull it out. That'll be out, that'll be easy, no biggie. Now, hopefully I won't have to. Sometimes you do have to shrink these. Now, on this one, yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to do. Yeah, there won't be much shrinking going on this one. Hopefully I can, but I haven't really measured up as far as where the firewall sits on the travel wall compared to the front wheel. And that'll be from the point from here to wherever the firewall is. I know the firewall on the travel wall is actually really deep. It's got like this much room between the firewall and the window. But the window is actually the dash. So if it's got a good amount of room, this will be fine. Because I'm building a custom dash, I can literally make the dash a little bit wider to accommodate the steering column to make it look right in there. But yeah, that has to come out now. That came out a lot easier than I expected it would, but I did just put that steering shaft on and it made it a lot easier. I'll leave that on for now, and we'll start cutting this. Not looking forward to it, because if it's just, it's going to be harder than the other side, because it was, you know, I've got multiple layers of cutty, hurty, finger bashy to go through here. See if I can't make my nose bleed again from vibration, I guess. I guess it's working all that stuff out, so they're going. So, yeah, we'll get started on that real quick. The tough part is when I get down by the tire, and this is a triangulated corner where the bolt for the frame mount goes, so it's hard to get through when I got a 6-inch Sawzall blade. Should have got the 9-inch, but I was like, I don't need no 9-inch, and boom, there you go, need a 9-inch Sawzall blade. So things I want to keep an eye on are my brake switch. Make sure it don't bust off, fall off, or anything like that. I do know I got this bracket on on my pedal here. I'm definitely going to cut that off. It is annoying. Other than that, once I get this cut off, unbolt that, and I should be able to start unbolting the floor and pull the floor off. Then the real fun stuff begins, which I ain't got the stuff for yet. I'm sort of getting ready to get aggravated and start ordering some stuff. But like the oil pan, get one on eBay probably real quick. I still do need, probably by the end of next week, to get the transmission over here and check it, see what the oil pan, inside the oil pan looks like. And from that point, if inside the oil pan, like, there's not a bunch of metal or nothing, like, I think I can just put new oil in it and be good. Not oil, trans fluid. Put it in there and it'd be good. Then we'll go from there. But yeah, let's do some bouncy, jumpy, choppy cutting. Lord have mercy, them Sawzalls take me to wear me out, man. I got it though. Oh man, I feel like I've been beat to death. Phew. Oh, freaking face is tingling. It beats me so much as I. But yeah, I got it. I got it. And then them boys right there, complete like that, weigh a good 150 pounds. They're heavy. But yeah, I win. Lord. I am probably going to call it a day. Again, I am not well enough. Thought I was well enough. But I am not. And I am cold still. It's just not keeping up. I have a hard time working, especially when I just come off this flu and being cold trying to work. So, no biggie. Oh, that beat me. That Sawzall blade is still good, but it could be better. Though I have used better. That Milwaukee blade, It's good, but the Linux blade I used was better. I can't get no Diablos around here. I want a Diablo blade so bad because I just watch them. They're just like, wow, you know, they cut crazy. But I am beat. That whooped me pretty good. See, if I didn't take my steering column off, this would have started bending backwards and stuff. So yeah, that's why I wanted to pull my column and everything off first. Again, this will have to go in. What is that? Oh, okay, that's where the frames meet together. That's cool. Because I'm going to have to do some modifications to that frame, as I've done said. Anywho, another thing I was thinking about that I might actually change too is I might completely remove these off of both sides. Alright, and then get me the trailer fenders. Put the trailer fenders on there and make it fit better to both vehicles, you know what I'm saying? Because I know this won't even reach to the body of the Travelall now. And the other ones would be extremely hard to cut and try to drop on to this setup and make it fit right. One, probably because they're not high enough now. So, yeah, basically I am thinking about cutting them off completely and then get me some wide trailer fenders that'll fit from here to the body of the Travelall. I do still have two sections, but I don't think they're wide enough. Do I still have two sections? Somewhere in here. Yeah, right there, see? I don't think those are wide enough. I think I need wider. I just like slivered the edge off of those when I cut them. So, yeah, we are going to have to get some wide. I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay. So from in wall to the outside of the tire right now is 11 inches. Yeah, roughly 11 inches. So I would say by the time the Travelall's there to be 13 or 14. Dang, I might be able to put like 15 or 16 inch wide wheels on this thing. Dang, baby, Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels. So, yeah, but I'm spent. This fluid sucks. But we are literally to the point now to where I can unbolt that master cylinder, unbolt the floor pans, pull the floor off. Which is like, what I'm waiting for, because I got exhaust. The exhaust I got a long time ago, but I remembered to look them up. Squirrel Performance is who I got all this 3-inch exhaust from. So yeah, Squirrel Performance, they're on the build. Art Captain on the build. We'll have some more coming soon, but yeah. As for now, I'm spent. Alright, we're back out here. It's somewhat warm outside now. It's 45. That's this week's low. It is Monday, so this thing cannot keep up when it is in the teens. So if you live in blistering cold states and want to get in your garage, well, if it's, you know, not super insulated and everything, this is like halfway insulated, but if it's not super insulated, you're going to need something bigger than that. If you're in the lower states, this thing will probably be fine for you. But again, still does great for, you know, as cold as it has been. I've been able to slightly get around and do some stuff. But it's a little warmer today. We're going to try to get this floor off. I believe it's got about 8 bolts on it. Probably going to break a bunch. Hopefully not, but if I do while the floor's off, I'll actually go ahead and try to fix them to where I can bolt it back on properly. I know this one probably won't be going back on at all because, again, this frame has got to be angled. Got to pull off my master cylinder and should be able to unbolt the floor and get it out of the way. So, still waiting for it to warm up a little bit in here and we'll get started. It's colder in here than it is outside, which is completely stupid. What is it in here? It's 44? I'd say it's about 44 in here, maybe 43. It is the temperature in here that it is outside, but it's warmer outside because it's sunny. So, anywho, let's let it get a little bit warmer in here, and we'll get started on pulling this floor and stuff. Alright, we're going to start pulling these body mount bolts now. It's as warm as it's going to get, probably. Doubt it, but it's going to get warmer. I'm about to put some gloves on. Not for safety, but literally because these freaking tools are so cold. Like, I mean, they feel like they're blistering your skin. They're that cold, but after looking, it's one here, one there, one here, and one in the back. That's all the body mount bushings. So, still 8, but I sort of figured it'd be 2 and 2. I mean, I'm not counting the front ones because they're already gone, but yeah. I was surprised that there was one in the center, honestly. But that's better for me. That's more stability when I bolt it onto the travel, you know, when I weld it, because that'll be right behind the door. So it'll have a good spot. Then I'll have to move this one to wherever it's going to get moved to, but I doubt it's probably going to have to go in very far. But we'll figure that out once we get the floor off. We'll start figuring out where our frame needs to be moved. I'll have to go do a lot more measurements, hopefully when it gets a little warmer out. But yeah, let's start pulling body bolts. So it turns out this one is spinning inside of its nut captive, which is like right here. So I need to peel back that sound deadener and look and see if there's a way I can get something in there to stop it from spinning. But before I do that, I'm going to go through and do the whole other side, so that way I can see if any of the other ones are spinning. Just in case I had to do multiples of them, I might as well be ready to do multiples of them. So we ended up with 2 broke and 1 spinner. So I just got to get this one off, and everything else should pull up. That sucks. So this one snapped because it just wasn't breaking free, so I put the torque and snapped. So we'll have to fix 1, 2, 3. Those should be easy, pretty easy to fix once the floor is off, though. So, anywho, I'm gonna do a little cleanup here, and then start working on getting that one out. So what I'm thinking is this right here is where the captive nut is. So I'm just gonna cut a square, bend it back, and just try to hold it to pull it. And then I can pull my floor. So just a little chop suey on there, and yeah, we'll get that nut stop spinning. Just have to flap that back down and weld it, and it'll be done. But that's all the body bushings now. Unbolt a master cylinder, and we'll be ready to pull floor. All right, we got all the body mounts off, the master cylinders off, throttle cables unhooked, There should literally be nothing left now holding this to come off. Unfortunately, the real only way I can do anything right now is if I just turn it and slide it right in here, like the tail end into the storage room. It's really the only option I got right now. Once the weather breaks and it's not raining, I can get a lot of this other crap out of here. Actually, when it does rain and it's still warm out, I am going to get most of this crap out of here. The floor I don't really want to take outside though, because I don't know how long it's going to be till I can put it back in, unless I take it over to the storage side and put it in with the Le Mans leaned up against the wall, like standing up. I don't know if it'll even, I don't know how heavy it is. If it's super heavy, that's probably not going to be an option. If it's not that heavy, then that might be an option. But for now, let's even see if I can move this thing or if I'm going to have to get some guys. Well, in my infinite wisdom, they actually have two body mount bolts. One right here and one right here. Huh. Why? Yeah, I was yanking up on that thing and I was like, no. And then my fuel tank is actually part of the floor. I forgot all about that. So I don't really want to drop that fuel tank. At the same time, I probably just need to, because when I start doing all my welding and stuff, I don't want that plastic tank on there anyway. So yeah, we're gonna have to undo the tank, then undo the, well, either way, front bolts and the tank's got to come off. So that's surprising though that they had two more body mount bolts up there. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to jack this thing up and get some jack stands under it and pull the tank. It's not too big of a deal. The harness is already unhooked. The fuel lines aren't no big deal. I put quick connects on here, just like the front fuel line, so push and click off. But I was just surprised that them front body mount bolts, and I didn't even think about the fuel tank. No big deal. Just a little bit more to go. I'm so excited to get the floor off. No joke. But yeah, I'm gonna go take a break before I have to crawl under this, because it sucks crawling under this. Even though I have beautiful, beautiful smooth concrete now, it still sucks. I don't do creepers because I'm a fatty for now. And yeah, anywho, we know what to do now.